This week we have actor, writer, producer, content creator, business owner, and author Fabian Arnold, aka Fabs. Fabs is known for his work on films like Big Rage, The Black Box, and more. We chat about how his social media following has helped him as an actor and how you can improve your social media. We also talk about how Fabian booked a huge show and then couldn't do the show and how he has dealt with all of that. We also talk about the importance of having a vision for your life and chasing that wholeheartedly. Fabs also is about to have a book come out, so we will link everything in the show notes. Enjoy, guys.
Are you rich?
Are you famous?
What have you been on?
I don't really recognize you, and neither does my mom.
Can you laugh?
Can you cry on command?
I mean, you said you were an actor, man.
What's your backup plan? Is it shattered?
Dude, I'm just acting like an actor.
Alright, Fabian Arnold, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Diving right in, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think the best advice that I would give people, because I feel like there's so many advices people gave me, but I feel like the best advice I would give people is just believe in your goals and work hard and just do it, because at one point it will work out. And I feel like that's a summary of so many advices I've been given from other people.
Yeah. Have you seen that come to fruition in your own life?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, as an actor or any other artist or human being in general, I feel like life is a long process, and it doesn't happen overnight, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just work hard and do your work every single day, you will get better and better and better, and then at one point achieve what you always dreamed for.
Mm-hmm. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you talk to me a little bit about just acting, like how you fell into the business, what you were doing before acting, how you ended up in Los Angeles, everything like that?
So I'm originally from a small town in Germany, and I studied insurance and finished my studies when I was 21, and I got a sponsorship from a big insurance company to do my master program, but I declined that and went to Australia because I wanted to learn more about life and also train and train my English, because I didn't really know English back in the days. And I started as a backpacker, lived in a hostel for a long time, and then got started in modeling because a scout found me on the street in Sydney, and started modeling, dove into fashion modeling. And then social media is kind of part of modeling nowadays, and because I was in front of the camera so many times, I wasn't really comfortable just being a model and not really having to talk and not like showing my personality. So I made the transition into acting while I was in Los Angeles for modeling and social media, and that happened 2.5-3 years ago. Yeah.
So you didn't move to Los Angeles to pursue acting originally?
No.
Okay.
In the first place, I moved here for my model agency, and then I had a big fight with my model agency after 1 week of living in Los Angeles and having like moving here, and it felt like 2-3 steps back because I just moved here. I had a big fight with my model agency. They kicked me out, and I was in a new city. Los Angeles is not cheap. And I was like, fuck it, I don't have an agency, I don't have a job, whatever. And then 2-3 weeks later, acting manager texted me, DM'd me on Instagram. And then acting started.
It was the sign.
Yeah.
So if you look back at like your childhood and things like that, did you ever have an interest in acting, or was that not even a thought in your head?
There was always something in my head, and I feel like that's why I'm so comfortable and so happy with where I am right now in life. When I was younger, I got bullied in school. I was like the skinny Fabian. I wasn't popular. I was a nerd. I had one of the best grades in school, and so movies felt like a place where I could dive into and live in a different universe, and my imagination just started like spreading, like growing, and I always dreamed for and longed for of having those superpowers like Percy Jackson or whatever. I always wished I could be Percy Jackson and my dad is actually a god or whatever, and I would have that superpower that kind of like helps me against those bullies in my school. And I feel like the imagination and all those thoughts I had as a kid are all coming together now, being an actor in LA and being able to live those lives, and also spreading messages to those kids out there that are in the same position that I was back in the days.
Yeah. So you were watching movies as like a sense of escapism almost.
Yeah.
And now you want to give that feeling to other kids with the same.
Yeah, not even just other kids with the same like position or like place or whatever, but also just I want to be in the film industry to leave a footprint and spread a message in general and positivity and my message of life and humanity.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so you were also doing various other business ventures before acting, like you were doing modeling, and if you look at your Instagram, you had like a clothing brand and things like that. Can you talk to me a little bit about how those business ventures and those other like life experiences have helped you being an actor today? Do you feel like they've helped you, or do you feel like that was a waste of time?
No. As Steve Jobs said, it's all about connecting the dots. And nothing what I've done in my life has never helped me in any way. So everything came together. The same with like my insurance studies. I studied insurance and I had a big business marketing tool, and that helps me doing acting now because I know how to market myself. So it's all about like taking things you've learned into new perspectives and bringing it to the table of like what you're doing now. And I was doing modeling, was doing social media. Social media has a lot of stuff to do with like self-marketing. How can you market yourself on social media? You are a brand. And then I saw the change coming from where influencers don't really earn as much anymore, or like it's harder. There are more and more influencers, and I was about to like say, okay, like I don't want to like spend all my postings for other people brands and like market other people brands and just have my own brand. And that was the thought behind my fashion brand, which required too much time and too much money, and I spent a lot of money in it and I lost a lot of money in it. That's why I kind of like shut it down for now, but I know I will bring it back as soon as I will make it as an actor, because I have a bigger impact to like rebrand the whole thing. But everything, to like answer your question, everything helped me even now as an actor.
Life experience makes you a better actor, so
yeah,
that makes sense. I do want to talk a little bit about social media with you, because you do have a social media following. Do you feel like that has helped you as an actor in any way? Hurt you, things like that? I feel like you're always hearing these days how people are like, it's so important to have followers, like it gets you in rooms. Have you seen that come to fruition with yourself, or not so much?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Like social media is so important, and I will tell that to everyone. Nowadays it's harder because social media doesn't work the same way it did like 5 years ago. Like it's so much harder to like actually grow. Even for me, like I lost 60,000 followers within the last year probably, because I also transitioned into acting, and I don't really care about my social media following per se right now, because I'm in that sweet spot that I have the following and I just need to maintain it. But I get invited to movie premieres because of my following. For example, if I see directors on Instagram and I start following them because I have a blue tick and a big social media following, and my social media page, which is I think one of the most important things, looks like I'm a big actor, and it's all about marketing yourself. There's so many influencers out there and their page looks trash, even though they have a bigger following than me, but their page gives and says influencer. My page per se doesn't really say influencer, and because of that, those directors follow me back, and as soon as they follow me back, I DM them and tell them whatever, their last movie was great, or like start a conversation. And now I'm in the room, and now I can go and ask, do you want to grab a coffee? And now I'm friends with one of those directors. It's like it's a game you need to play, and I feel like it's a great card that you can use to like get to know people and people taking you serious.
I love what you said too about marketing yourself as an actor, because I so agree. You see these people with a lot of followers, but it's all photos of themselves, so it's very influencer-esque. And
I definitely think having a following helps, but I also think even if you're not pursuing a following, just making sure your social media, it's very obvious that you're an actor.
100%.
I don't have a huge social media, but I've gotten opportunities from social media, especially on TikTok, because I do lots of like acting vlogs and things like that, and so people will reach out in that way if they know that you're an actor. So
Yeah, 100%. And then also just showing your personality, I feel like, because as soon as they see what your personality looks like, and you're just being goofy, or like you're being like whatever, like just being you, helps so much, because people see what you actually are.
So you talk a lot about marketing yourself. If you were to give us a little summary of what's the vibe you want to give off? Like, what are you trying to market yourself as?
Okay. So I analyzed the market, and I feel like in our age, mid-20s, I would say there are 5-6 big A-list actors. It's Tom Holland, it's male, Tom Holland, Jacob Elordi, Timothy Chalamet. Austin Butler's already in his 30s, so he's gone. So it's basically those three.
Okay.
Name me one more if you know anyone that is just popping up. Maybe the monstrous actors like Koch and whatever, Nicholas Chavez, whatever. But they have only done that one series. So, and all of them, because that's the fashion trend and the trend of society right now, are skinny, dramatic actors, but there's no one that is going into the Tom Cruise, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris Evans, muscle guys, because it's not trending right now, right? Action is just not trending. Like, there is no Jason Statham right now in his 20s. And I feel like so I analyzed the market, and that's where I want to dive in. I want to go into stunts, I want to go into motorbikes, I want to go into like muscle, like being a big guy, and actually using that as my advantage against those other guys, because that's not something I can compete with them. Like, I will have my own niche, and that's, I feel like, what I want to give up. Like, leading man, leather jackets, old school 80s actor, Tom Cruise, Chris Evans. Yeah,
I love that. I think that's so cool as well, to like pick the vibe you want to give off to people, and then try to tailor your materials that way. Because I think a lot of people can look at typecasting as a negative thing, but I agree with what you said, that you have to set yourself apart, because there's so many actors these days.
100%.
Would you ever consider doing that sort of thing though? What if a role like that came to you, just a dramatic role that wasn't super actiony? Would you still consider that sort of thing, taking a different route and going a similar route to like Jacob Elordi or one of these other males, or no?
No, 100%.
Oh, you would?
Like,
Okay,
that is my overall idea of where I want to go.
I see.
But I want to do comedy. I would love to do a 21 Jump Street Channing Tatum character who's like a little dumb or whatever, or I would even like play Dumb and Dumber. Like, I want to do that stuff as well, but the overall picture that I have, the overall marketing plan, is being known as muscle, maybe a weird international accent, and then action and stunts, and also like being maybe a good dramatic actor.
I love that. Find what sets you apart and run with it.
Yeah,
that's great. What is the hardest part of the industry for you?
The hardest part of the industry is loneliness, and I feel like everyone in LA experiences that. Like, I feel like the business itself is not really tough. Of course, it's tough to book jobs, it's tough to make money. Los Angeles is a very expensive place, but I feel like the biggest issue that as everyone and every of my friends has is loneliness and mental health. Everyone is struggling with being alone, feeling alone, because everyone moves to LA to succeed something and like achieve something in any term, whatever. So everyone is just hunting for goals and climbing the ladder, which is completely fine, which I'm doing as well. But that way it's harder to actually build proper friendships, especially when you're not born here. And I feel like that's the toughest thing about business, that about our industry and like Los Angeles and acting, that you need to maintain and be comfortable with that loneliness for years and years and years and years until you pop up. And even during that process, you need to learn that achieving those goals actually doesn't help you succeed in loneliness. And I feel like that's a very important thing that not many people learn, and a lot of people struggle with. You see a lot of people actually killing themselves, even like when they're super famous, because of that. And I think that's the like loneliness and not having a good life is actually the worst thing about our industry.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's so beautiful. I think it's also just getting comfortable with yourself and finding that like joy and fulfillment inside of yourself, and not from anything external, not from other people, not from your success, because it's never ending. You have to have fulfillment within yourself, or you're just going to constantly be chasing something forever and ever.
100%. And you need to be comfortable and happy with not being there yet, and enjoying the process, and enjoying failure. I think is a very, very big part. Like the same thing, like I don't know if we need to cut that afterwards, but I booked.
I feel like we should probably cut that part.
Yeah, maybe yeah.
You book something big. We'll bleep it out.
Okay, but and I had paperwork issues with my visa. And I was like, what the fuck? Like it took me 4 years to get the visas for America to actually work here. And now I don't have the right paperwork, and I booked it. Like I was one of 1,000 people booking that one role. I booked it, and then they kicked me out because I didn't have the right paperwork. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? So sorry. And like I've been in LA for 3 years. I worked my ass off. And then when you actually think you're at the point to like book something big, and you book something just hits you. But that's just how life is. You get just hit from side to side. And now I just had a call with my immigration lawyer yesterday, and we are applying for a green card now, because with my green card I'll be safe with everything that's coming. But it was just a necessary step for me to like happen. And you see me smiling, and it's not a fake smile. It's like it's part of the prospecting process. Like there will be another opportunity coming up, and of course that could have changed my life, but that's just how life is. And my movie, Fabian Arnold movie, is just written that way.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can change.
No, I love that, Fabian. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful perspective, and you have to have that perspective in our business because there's so much out of your control. Can I ask, when did that happen? Was that recently?
Yeah, like the last couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So what are you on right now? Just a visa, like an entertainment visa?
Talent visa, yeah.
Okay, and you're getting your green card to become a citizen is what you're trying to do?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I had my first call yesterday, and then hopefully I'm gonna apply for it, and then hopefully getting it, yeah.
A lot of my model gal friends from overseas just marry someone to get their citizenship.
It will always come out at one point, depending on how famous you become.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
gotta do what you gotta do, though. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your recent film, Big Rage. I'll insert the trailer right here for anybody who doesn't know about this film. But
who are you?
I'll ask the questions, you'll provide the answers.
my client.
He left 20 minutes ago. I can't have you keep losing clients, dog.
Morning.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I need some help. Chantel is my life.
And you want to see your precious little princess alive again?
Clark is my new assistant.
To do what?
You two game?
When you're in the fight, getting punched and cut and bloody, what do you tap into? What keeps you going? This is bigger than any fight in my life. This place is me now.
You can outrun the devil, but you ain't gonna outrun me.
can you talk about just what it was like filming that project? I know it was something very different for you. It's a gay love story. So just what was that whole experience like for you?
I think, to be honest, it was amazing. I learned so much. It was a small set in terms of what it looks like after. It looks so much bigger than how it felt like being on set, because it was an independent production and everyone was doing their best, and we were trying to like bring this project come alive and like make the best out of it. And it was the first time for me being the leading man and actually having to navigate through. It's easy to play a scene, but it's hard to play a movie, and to have the pressure of leading the movie. And I knew that before doing the movie, but I've never realized how it actually feels like on the back end. And I feel like that was something I learned, especially when you're in acting school. You do scene after scene after scene, and it's easy to act in one scene, but then actually having the character journey and being the leading man to actually bring the project come to life, it's so much harder. And I think that was like a very, very tough thing. The gay love story wasn't really challenging, to be honest. I feel like I have a very good imagination, and like when I'm on a normal acting set with a female, it's a female love, like a normal straight love story. What means normal? Gay is also normal, but like straight love story. Then I imagine to be in love with this girl.
Yeah.
I'm not actually in love with this girl, but that's the same thing I did with this guy.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same. The only weird thing was to like kiss someone with a beard, to be honest, because I've never experienced that with kissing girls.
Yeah, not yet. How did you prepare for the role?
So my character in Big Rage feels very lonely. Is trying to find home. Didn't really come out yet as a gay man. So there's a big 7-minute monologue about like coming out and being gay and like having killed someone, and a lot of like rage within him. And I took stuff that happened in my life and substituted it with like what happened to this character. And I think every man, especially I, had thoughts down the line when I was modeling, how do I know that I'm not gay? And every man has those thoughts, even if they are maybe not open, honest about it. And I just took that thought, and instead of going right, which I went in my real life, I went left with it and just tried to explore what it would feel like to go left with that thought. So I was just trying to use emotions that I had in my real life and try to bring it to the character.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
And then just be grounded with it.
Using substitution. What is your formal acting background, just out of curiosity?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing, to
so
be honest.
the method you're describing is Ivana Chabik's Substitution.
I know,
which is
yeah.
like a classic. Okay.
Yeah, I've read her book.
Oh, okay. So you've done your own.
I've done my own acting school-ish. I've worked with a acting professor in Germany, like a theater professor. Private lessons. I've been to Margie Haber in LA.
You just said you didn't have any formal training. Yes,
I mean, formal training in terms of like a proper education or like studies or whatever. Because everyone in LA is like, oh yeah, I studied here, I studied there, and I'm like, alright, but you still suck. Like, no, sorry, no, just joking. But like, they're always about like, yeah, I studied here, I studied here. I feel like it doesn't really matter where you study. Either you're a good actor or you're a bad actor. And like it doesn't really matter where you study, as long as you know what you're doing and you like just bring the craft come to life. Yeah, so I've done a lot of different stuff, but I haven't like studied at one university and gotten a degree in acting. Yeah.
Which is almost better that way, because when you study different types, you pull little things from everyone and like create your own
that's why
thing.
I can't really like explain what my method and my technique is, because I pull from all different thoughts. And I like Margie Haber for being very grounded and just whatever feeling you have in the moment before set, just bringing into the scene. And the scene is not a scene, it's a slice of life. It's not beginning and end, it's just a part of something and a moment, and just play with it. And I don't overanalyze the script. I just go with the flow and go with my initial feeling of how I feel. I don't think about the line, okay, I want to laugh on this in this moment, I want to like do this. I try to listen, and I try to actually be grounded with my emotions and give a response.
See, that's almost like my scenario what you're describing now. But I totally agree with you. I think that being present is the most important thing in any scene. I think you can tell it's fake when somebody's planned everything out. But like, I'm talking to Fabian right now and I'm not like, what's the next thing I'm going to say to Fabian? I'm feeling really interested as he talks to me. Like, we're just talking and we're both here and we're grounded and it's not weird. And that's when the most beautiful acting performances, I think, happen. It's when you're just there.
100%. And then also like being quiet sometimes. Just like, you don't have to say anything. Like if you don't feel like saying anything in that moment, just wait until it comes. Because the director can cut anywhere afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like post-production can do anything they want.
What is the best part of the industry for you?
Getting to know so many people, talented people, but also people that are hungry and wanting to create movies and messages and bring out messages and explore the world. I feel like that's the best part of it.
Yeah, the people. That's always the answer I get, I feel like, is everybody always says it's the people. So you've been in LA, what, 2 years now?
2.5.
2.5 years, okay. Do you feel like you are where you thought you would be in your acting career at this point?
Before I came to LA, I didn't even know I would be in acting.
I guess so, yeah.
So
all right.
I feel like I'm much further than I would have thought. 2 years ago, I started my first acting school with a professor during COVID. So basically, I started earlier with acting than I actually started acting. So I was always exploring the acting world without doing auditions, without doing anything during COVID. But then I got my first manager in September 2022, and that's when I started with acting school in LA. So it's been, what is it now, 2024? It's been 2 years now that I am auditioning and doing stuff. And I feel like I've done 3 feature films, 2 lead roles. The 3rd feature film is with Tara Reid. I'm the supporting, she's the lead. That's about to come out. And yeah, I feel like everything else is going forward.
Is that going to be a theatrical release, or do you know where that's going to come out?
I don't know. I think they're trying to like find distribution or something.
Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll have blurred this out, but I am curious, Fabian. So was your first like big network booking, I assume? Like the biggest thing today?
That actually said yes.
It actually said yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through what the whole audition process was like for booking the big show that Fabian booked that he now cannot do? Can you talk us through that process? Like, was it self-tape? Then did you go in the room? What was the whole thing like?
I think it was super simple.
Oh,
it was also, they were looking for a German guy.
Oh,
so it's also like very
Oh,
small. And I was basically just submitting one self-tape.
Okay. You were just perfect for the role.
And then they booked me. They
okay.
they put me on hold for like 2-3 weeks. And they didn't even ask for a callback because it was only like, I think 5 sentences or whatever. So it wasn't like a huge role, you know what I'm saying? It's like a supporting role, small supporting role for like whatever, 2-3 episodes maybe of those 8 total episodes. And they were just saying, yeah, you're good at the end. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So nothing special.
That is really simple. So I had a producer session for. They put me through the ringer, and she's only in like 2 episodes, but I had like 4 rounds of callbacks, producer sessions, all the things. So interesting.
Yeah.
The audition process is funny.
I think especially being German helps sometimes, but sometimes I always think it's maybe the universe not wanting me to play German, because I've played German but only in English language. And if you think about Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's never done a movie where he was talking German.
Yeah.
Because that's his marketing. So maybe the universe is just telling me you shouldn't play someone in the Second World War and speaking German and being a Nazi or whatever.
Yeah, okay. But I guess all Germans don't do that though. There are nice Germans too.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing acting in Germany or no?
Yeah, no, more than ever.
Oh, okay.
Like when I first started acting, I never wanted to act in Germany because German acting is very over the top. The movies aren't as good.
Okay.
But now with being in LA, I think it would be an easy entrance to like also do stuff in Germany because I'm building a name for myself in Hollywood right now, and it's an easier entrance to like big movies in Germany. And then also to like make some money on the German market, which is still like I think the second biggest. Like the German language market, and movies is the second biggest film market, or third biggest, I think. First is English, then Spanish, and then it's German.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Do you have any crazy audition or set stories that come to mind? Do you go in the room very often or no, in person?
I've never been in the room
Oh, okay.
for theatrical, only for a commercial. So I don't really have any crazy stories, to be honest.
Okay.
No.
What about from set?
I feel like there's also nothing really.
That comes to mind?
No.
If there was anything crazy, you would remember it right away.
Yeah. Now the thing is, but I'm also like so laid back and easygoing, and like because I've been modeling for 10 years, like I was naked on set on those movie sets so many times, and I feel like for other people that would be something special.
Yeah.
I don't care if my ass is out. Like my ass is out all over the internet, so I don't care.
Right. Okay. Good to know. If you could give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna happen how it happens. I don't think you should stress yourself out that much.
You're very good at trusting the process now. Were you always like that, or did you used to be the type of person that you feel like would stress a lot about stuff? Or have you always just been laid back?
I think I still stress a lot.
Okay.
But I learned to be more laid back in general. But yeah, back in the days I was always stressing out about like, okay, what's happening and what can I do? And that's why I found those companies. I found a production company, found a clothing brand, because I wanted to move forward, and I couldn't wait for like 2 months till I hear back from someone. Like I was doing my own stuff. Like if someone tells me no, I will do my own stuff. And I was always trying to get what I want.
Yeah. Do you create your own films or anything?
Yeah, I've been writing.
Okay.
I wrote 3 feature films, one for the German market, 2 which I'm in contact with Constantin Films right now, then 2 for the American market, and trying to produce as well. Yeah.
Do you have any interest in directing?
100%. Because every single time when I'm on set, I feel like there's so many things that I would do different, and because I directed commercials. I have a production company, and I've done commercials for Audi, for BMW in Germany, for big hotels, and I was always directing and producing. So I know shots, I know lenses, I know the camera equipment, because from social media and doing YouTube vlogs and all that stuff. So I have an eye for all of that. It's just bringing everything into like a movie, and I would love to do that.
For any of our Fabian Arnold fans out there, because I did some stalking on your TikTok, comments I always see are, who's filming those videos of you? Because I feel like what you first blew up from is those videos of you like running around the street. Am I right now?
That's the second time. Yeah, the first time that I blew up was 2017, and then those POV videos were during COVID on TikTok.
Who is filming those for you? That's what everybody asks in the comments all the time.
My brother, someone who's around. I just give them a camera and just say, okay, that's cool, just film.
Okay. We're gonna jump into my final segment, which is Fast Frisky 5. But before I do, is there anything you want to say? Any like last words of wisdom? We have a lot of like newbie actors that watch this, beginner actors. Is there anything you would like to say to them?
Yeah. Definitely don't let other people dictate your life too much. If you have a vision about who you are and who you want to be, work on that and don't change too many times for other people. Because what I've done over the years in modeling, for example, one model agent always said, okay, you need to buzz your hair. The other model agent said, you need to bleach your hair. The other model agent said, you need to lose weight. Then I was in Singapore, and in Singapore they said, you need to lose weight. And then in LA they said, oh, you need to gain more muscles. It's like every person has a different opinion about you. Try to like find yourself and what you're happy with and make it work, but also be open to explore other opportunities. I feel like it's a very fine sword between trusting the right people and people's opinions, because there's so many people out there that are trying to like tell you, okay, do this, do this, do this. And it's up to you to decide, okay, do I trust this person or do I not?
Yeah, It's a hard balance in our business too. Even with like everything acting wise, like it's like some people are like, oh, self-tape with this background, or you need an agent. No, you don't need an agent. You need a manager. Like there's so much contradictory advice that you just have to pick the path that feels right to you and kind of run with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to ask you too, do you have any advice, because you're so good at marketing yourself and things like that, what would your advice be to actors or aspiring social media influencers? What is your advice for people on how to market themselves?
Quality, no, let me start over. You need to have a clear vision in which area and part of your process you are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mix processes in terms of like, if you want to try to grow your Instagram, and grow your Instagram with whatever you can grow your Instagram with.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's bullshit and even if it's low quality, whatever. Like I did those walking videos and I know they don't benefit me in terms of being an actor, but in that phase of, or like in that part of my life, I was just trying to grow.
Yeah.
And I was growing because as soon as the algorithm hits, you just keep going with it. And that's what I did. I just posted every single time similar videos, trash in my eyes. It was still good videos, but like trash.
Yeah.
For my long-term goal. But it just helped to grow Instagram. And now I'm in my part of my life where I have a big Instagram with like social media following, and I just want to have a cool image on it. And now I care about the quality of the pictures, and I don't care about the engagement and the growing part.
Yeah.
So, but if I would have tried to mix both parts together, and back in the days would have tried to bring cool things on my social media, and then every second day post a video that could go viral, they would have not worked, because you need to stick to one thing to like actually succeed in something.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to like grow your social media, just post whatever helps the algorithm to push you up. And then if you want to like just have a cool image, stick to the cool image and don't post something in between that looks stupid just because you're trying to get good reach now. Just try to like stick with whatever you want to do. And it's the same with like, with whatever you're doing in life. Like if you want to like build more muscles, and fucking build more muscles, but don't eat a Big Mac every second day.
Right.
Or if you want to bulk up, then bulk up, but don't like fast every 3 days. Like it's always, you need to focus on what you really want in that moment.
Yeah.
And then get it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I think a lot of what you say too, it comes back to just having a vision for your life and following that, like picking one thing, sticking to it. And I think so many actors, and I'm guilty of this too, we get so caught up in doing a million things and like trying to do this project, but then also writing our own stuff and all of these different things. And you're right, there's so much beauty in picking one thing and focusing on it.
Yeah, there's a really good book called The One Thing. I don't know if someone read it, whatever. I read it and it's fucking amazing. I can recommend it to everyone. Also, my own book is coming out in 2 weeks called Broken Boy, Trying to Figure Out Life, talking about my life, but also I recommend a lot of books in my book. So it's basically like a summary of the most important messages I got from other people and brought them into my book. So it's basically like a first slide into like figuring out what to read next.
Yeah.
And yeah, making a vision board, what you said, is like, I feel like the most important part. Like if you see my phone, I don't know if there's any messages that I need to delete before. It's like basically all my idols on one page that are created. It's Jake Gyllenhaal, it's Chris Evans, it's the roles that they're playing, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Rocky Balboa, like different parts, and I look at that every single day. So it's all about making a vision for yourself and like working on it, because like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, you can have the best ship in the world, but if you don't know where you're going, you're just like wandering around on the ocean and never end up anywhere.
Yeah. Find out what you want, trust the process.
Yeah.
Okay, our last segment is Fast 65, which is 5 just random rapid fire questions. The first one, favorite quote.
Life is like a roller coaster filled with ups and downs, and as soon as you enjoy the ride, you can enjoy and find the true purpose in life.
It's beautiful. Something in LA that you love that not a lot of people know about.
Car camping.
Ah,
Car camping
in LA?
Car
Or
camping
just-
in Malibu.
Okay. Oh, okay.
In the mountains of Malibu, if you drive up, you can just park on the side of the road. Nobody will say anything, and I just car camp there and be in nature.
Love that. LA is so funny that way. How it's like you just drive 30 minutes and it's like this gorgeous nature outside of the city. But
Yeah.
favorite line in a movie?
What comes to my mind is Rocky Balboa, when he was talking to his kid. It's too long of a monologue to like repeat it right now, but he's basically saying life is all about how hard you can get hit without backing down, and like you keep moving forward and so on. Like I can't even repeat the quote right now, but insert that.
You changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Pickles, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yeah, you like them. I just feel like people either love them or hate them. This is also Lazy Pickle Studios. We're in. Fun fact. Recent obsession of yours?
Golfing.
Golfing. I feel like that's always been an obsession of yours, though.
No, I just started a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And I hated golfing because I was like
Oh.
thinking, okay, it's like a rich white man sport or whatever.
Yeah,
And
it is.
And also like in Germany, it's super expensive, like way more expensive than in the US.
Okay.
And you need to have like a membership. There are no public golf courses, so no one in Germany plays golf. Like not many people. But I feel like it became such a joy for me just being in nature and just being around it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a good place to network too. You go golfing at the right places if you wanted.
Yeah, not really, because you have a tea time with like only 2-3 other people,
okay.
and then the tea time you have your friends with you, so it's basically just you and your friends.
Yeah,
so that's not really like a. Maybe if you go to the actual club lounges or whatever, then you can. Yeah.
All right. Any last words, Fabs? We're all done here.
I'm glad to have met you because you're a very hardworking woman, and I think you will go far. And yeah.
I appreciate that.
Wish you best luck with everything.
Thank you. You too, Fabs. All right. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.